Um, we're going dipalicious like no other. You think so? We're in like the 7th inning of the bear market. So you think the bull market's over, Henry? I'm not convinced that the bull market's over. We usually get a, final quarter pump. Oh, you're talking, so you think we get a little bit more down and then we take off? I think you're right, especially for XRP. Okay. Bull market hasn't even started. That's not true. Bull market started last year. Bull market started last year, what, around March? Yeah, bull market already started, bro. What's coming is going to surprise people in a good way or a bad way. Like just a massive takeoff. I sure hope so. I hope a massive takeoff comes. I got bills to pay here. I require it to keep this show afloat. Bull market equals regulation, which hasn't even arrived yet. Yeah, but the thing is the news is saying we're probably not getting regulation until 2026. And let me tell you something. The bull market comes from Bitcoin's halving, not from regulation. I think we'll get more of a run because of regulation. Okay. But the bull market comes from Bitcoin's halving. So it's already happened. Bitcoin already had its halving, not this cycle. I think that's what everyone's speculating, but you buy the rumor, you sell the news. So, and I have a feeling that most of us crypto bros, we know that the legislation that's getting passed is not really good. It's short-term bullish, but long-term, it's the death of decentralization, man. This is the death of DeFi. Politicians are focused on war, buying their stocks months ago. Yeah. We got this little pump, but not much really has done anything like previous bull runs. Yeah, I mean, not really for XRP. Look at XRP, man. XRP already hit an all-time high. And listen, I think that it got its run. It's possible because look at that, and it's just kind of showing the telltale signs of the end of a bull run. And the liquidity's more spread out, though. It's one coin that did it because it got all the media attention and focus, right? And media attention is part of the bull cycle, okay? And other coins didn't perform as well because the narrative wasn't pushed behind it. And the liquidity is more spread out. You have to understand there are thousands of new projects that never existed the last bull run. We didn't have them. We had thousands. Hulk is back. 15K likes. The Hulk is mad. XRP 223, then 260, fall back, then 10. I heard. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if it's going to do 10. I don't know. If you're buying anything but BTC, I pray you come to your senses. If you're buying anything, if you're buying nothing but BTC, I pray you come to your senses. Because I'm telling you what, with regulation comes investigation, and that will be the end of Bitcoin. They're just stringing XRP along. Look at other coins. I agree. I agree. They're doing everything they can to keep XRP's price up. Anything they can. I don't know, man. I'm conflated. I need to stop watching other people's lives because it's throwing me off. Because I want to believe at the same time. I'm not buying it, man. I feel like we're getting played, maybe. XRP equals moon cheese. Agreed, Jason. Josh says I disagree. Josh, dude, I've been watching it to your Jake Claver guy, bro. Dude is no, bro. Dude is wrong about a lot of stuff, man. He is eating the moon cheese, bro. Just follow your wicks. I know, right? I need to just stick to my TA and not listen to any of these other people, not get it. Because before I used to have zero input. It was just me. Now that I'm getting all this other information, it's throwing me off. Prove you wrong, you're going to prove yourself wrong. 10 years, no use case besides decentralization, which is only BTC. Maybe in 10 years, BTC recovers, but let me tell you this right now. BTC is a meme coin, bro. It does nothing but store value, and it's slow, and it's expensive to transact. Like Mother Dragon says, the long, slow rug pull, right? The Bart Simpson chart. It's like a mohawk. It's like our ghost here has a mohawk. It's a mohawk chart. I don't know what to believe anymore. Jake Claver is 100% accurate. What do you mean? Oh my God, dude. Bro is being spoon-fed the moon cheese just like you are, man. I can't, bro. I just can't. No. Some of the stuff he is saying, it's just like, no, that's wrong. That's been disproven. Wrong. I'm not buying it, man. Look at the 7-year bullish pattern. On what? Bitcoin? That's what I'm saying. It's a bubble waiting to pop. They've been printing Tether stablecoin out of thin air and pumping it into Bitcoin to keep it going. Dude, there's a possibility that this bull run, yeah, maybe we see $10 for XRP. Okay, maybe I'll give you that, but in the next decade, it might see $25. All right, it's not going to $100 this cycle. I can promise you that. I'm willing to put the vet on it, dude. I will put my vet on the XRP does not hit $100. It's gonna just randomly happen at 3 a.m. Yeah. Neo, thank you for the 5 popular votes and the heart me. Nate, thank you for the heart me. Marco, thank you for the community fest times 5, 6, 7, and a heart me. Neo, thank you for the 8 community fests. Appreciate you guys. I've been here since 2015. Only thing that stands is Bitcoin hitting all-time high. Your opium will perish. Dude, I've been holding XRP since you first heard of Bitcoin. I've been into XRP for a long time. All right. I'm way beyond the knowledge on crypto. I used to sit in these crypto meetings and conferences way back in like 2015, man. And they were just like developing this shit. Like I was sitting in these conferences. you're going to side with the guy. Okay. I wouldn't promise that Jake Claver has more connections to the industry. I'm going to side with him. Yeah, that's the problem, is he's so connected to the industry. He has everything to gain to keep the price up. All these other creators have everything to gain to feed you moon cheese. It's in their best interest to keep you bullish, you know, to keep you from taking profits. No, I don't use Telegram. Henry says, Josh, moon cheese, bro. Trust Oz and Jam and Mega Crypto. Yeah, I'm like 50-50 right now, okay? The white light has been on for days, okay? Because I'm 50-50. It could go either way right now, but the news is in the driver's seat. And the fact that we just continually getting dumped on by Ripple, dude, as soon as XRP takes off, what do you think Ripple's going to do with all that XRP they've been hoarding? What do you think XRP is going to do with all that XRP they've been hoarding in their wallets? They've only been releasing some of it. Every time the escrow opens, they've been releasing some to keep the price, you know, steady. But they've been moving the rest into private wallets. And these wallets are just massive. And what do you think when it takes off, what are they going to do? They're going to let it run. And then they're going to just say, okay, pull the rug. Yeah, they're going to liquidate it. Exactly. His point could have, dude, his point is based off moon cheese. And his point of what he's talking about is like 10 years from now. Okay? 10 years from now, it could do those things. Why would you buy a coin at like $2 or $3 that's going to come back to 50 cents, 75 cents before that time happens? That's what I'm saying. Maybe all that stuff happens, Josh, but it's not happening tomorrow. It's not happening this year. It's not happening this bull run, man. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Great. If it does all that stuff, amazing. The implementation of cryptocurrency is not happening this bull cycle. When is it going to 50 cents? After the bull run. Dude, it cannot happen this year. Mass adoption and real use case scenario cannot happen this year. There's not enough regulation and implementation in place, dude. The year is almost over, bro. Like this year is over. We're more than halfway through it and we've got nothing. We've maybe got one bill that's going to pass, maybe. Dude, wake up and smell the moon cheese, bro. 2029, 2030 is my retirement years. Yeah. Yeah. Injunction won't be lifted. Exactly. I don't think it's ever going to actually get used. I think XRP may actually be dead. To be completely honest with you. Yeah. The cheese is hella moldy. It's nasty. Let me tell you this right now. Josh, okay, dude, the injunction will not get removed. And if it doesn't, expect the case to go on for another year or two. Like, I know what I'm talking about. Like, dude, I was going to be an attorney before I decided to do this. I don't know why I chose to do this, but I like doing this better. I'm telling you. If you understand the way the legal process goes, you would not be sold right now. Most people don't understand it. But I'll tell you this right now. The injunction is not going to get dropped. If they pay a fine, no, the injunction won't get dropped. 100%. Okay? And if the injunction doesn't get dropped, expect 2 appeals coming. I'm just saying there's always a chance, LOL. I'm betting on that we could both be wrong. Dude, I I'm not even rolling the dice on this one. This is standard procedure. This is well-known facts. Okay? If Ripple pays a fine, that's admission of guilt, which means that Ripple broke the law, which means the injunction stays in place. Period. Oh yeah, Josh definitely bought at $3. And I'm not trying to talk down to you, Josh, but dude, you're so, dude. You got to stop drinking the Kool-Aid with moon cheese and crackers, bro. You're drinking the Kool-Aid with moon cheese and crackers. I don't know how to help you, bro. And I get it. You're young. You know everything. You know. You're young. You know everything. And you can't learn anything until you learn on your own. I get it. That's the age you're at. So expect a long, hard lesson. Carlito with a ton, and Marco and Nate and everybody with a ton of community fests and gifts. Thank you guys so much. You guys rock, man. Sheesh, there's 71 people watching right now. I'm telling you, the community fests are the best thing for the live right now. Why do I show you the chart? Because I'm trying to wake people up. But I think XRP right now is the best thing to trade because it's pretty volatile and it keeps its price up because of the moon cheese. And at the same time, I bought this thing in 2016. So like every time it moves up, I'm taking profits to fund this whole operation. I told you I was pro XRP, then anti, then pro again, and you didn't see what happened today. Josh, all right, Josh, hop on Discord. Let's talk, bro. Let's talk, man. I'll bring you on for a call. I'm gonna send you a request to a call right now. Let's talk about it, Josh. I'm ready to argue. Make me believe, Josh. Make me believe. I want to so bad. Believe me, I want to believe. Because if I can believe, then I'll hold longer and I won't take profits so soon. There he
Oh,
is.
what's up, bro?
What's up, bro? Dude, we became like best frenemies.
What's up, bro? Yeah, I mean, in a way.
So tell me, convince me, make me eat the moon cheese, bro. I want to. I want to believe because I feel like alt season may be right around the corner. Maybe I have there. I'm very 50-50 right now. Make me believe. Make chat believe.
Well, I mean, remember, I mean, last time we were talking about like alt cycles and stuff, and I made it very clear that just for the record, I did buy early, and I'm not like my whole thing is I'm not trying to say this to get more people to buy because I alone understand that retail isn't going to be able to pump this. It's just not happening. But I don't know if you kept up with what was happening today, but we were talking about Bitcoin maybe scrapping, or no, you were talking with one guy, I forget what his name was, but you're talking about Bitcoin going to 150 and then going back down. And then today, so many companies
$10,000
announced,
Bitcoin. 10,000.
dang, I don't know. After what happened today and all the news that came out today, that was so like pro Bitcoin. I honestly think we could see a 250, 500K Bitcoin, which again is controversial. But what's aligning for that is crazy. And obviously that would mean altcoin season would definitely be happening. But I think I guess what I'm trying to say with XRP, because it's a big misunderstanding, is that they have been working in the background, and I know everybody keeps saying this is the year, this is the year. I'm not disagreeing with you that this might not be the year, but what I'm saying is there's just too many things that I've seen happen that could point that this could end up happening this year. And
Like
I
what?
mean, you said
What makes you think
so.
it's going to happen this year?
So I was basically looking into like whole economics worldwide, right? We're talking about. I think we talked about this last time. Every country wants CBDCs. So I was doing some back and forth research. The only issue with CBDCs is every single country wants it pegged to their own currency, right? And people are talking about how other countries don't want the US's currency anymore because they didn't back it with gold anymore, et cetera, et cetera. So with XRP and what I've been saying is it's going to be used as liquidity bridging, and it can be used at like Bank of America can have their own stable coin, Europe can have their own stable coin, et cetera, and it can all flow through the back end system of XRP, and that's what I'm betting on that that's what they're going to do this year.
I don't think it's going to happen this year. And I'll tell you why. One, nothing's really operating on the ledger. Two, no banks, no contracts. There's NDAs, like you said.
There's a lot of them.
The only contracts we've heard of, they say that all the banks are using it. They're these small banks. We've talked about this before. I don't see mass adoption happening until there's clear regulation, and that's just not happening this year. It's not.
I mean, that's somewhat debatable because I think, and the point that I was going to get to is Trump only has, what is it, less than 3.5 years left on his term. And this is also his final one. And his family is very anti CBDCs. And I think it's pretty evident to say that if he doesn't change the system during his term, then we're for sure getting CBDCs next person around.
That's
Like
for
I'm I'm
sure.
I'm willing to bet on that. So what I'm saying is, realistically, if any of this stuff on the XRP ledger is going to happen, it would need to be within these next 3.5 years. And
Well,
the reason why I say XRP is because there's nothing else that we could use for it.
what makes
And
you
I mean, you
think
could,
that Trump is pro um, DeFi and not CBDCs?
I mean, he's very vocal about it, especially his family. I mean, there's tons of podcasts you can pull up.
The only
They're
thing that I've really seen is the them talk about the executive order that he signed, no CBDCs in the US. And
Yeah.
that's that's not legislation, bro. That's an executive order. It lasts like a year. I think that that is a way to fuel the bull market because he's in crypto, and the more anything pumps, the more he's going to make. He has everything to gain by signing that executive order. And I
I
think you're
mean,
right. I think the next administration is going to push for CBDCs. Other countries are already pushing for CBDCs. I the legislation that's getting passed is a clear picture that CBDCs is being ushered in. Nothing is indicating that we're going DeFi.
I mean, you could see it as that, but at the end of the day, like, I guess my counter argument would be I'm not really, I don't think that Trump signing that, which you're right, it's not legislation, but I'm hinting more at the fact that I think he's going to push for a new decentralized system. I mean, I don't know if you kept up with the news today, but the largest homeowners association, or whatever you want to call it,
I got it right
you
here.
know, yeah, I mean, they were talking about it, and I was talking with so many people in the crypto space, and again, this is all speculation, but I think that there might be something that's going on in the background where we might not see Bitcoin drop even below 100K, because I think we might be out of this cycle of we go up, we dump, and we talked about this last time because I was saying that it's bad for regular people that don't know what they're doing, but there were so many what is his name? Michael Saylor, he was interviewed today, and he was saying the same thing. The BlackRock CEO is saying the same thing. The government can't really utilize Bitcoin if it's going to drop like that. So what the whole talking point was today is, are we going to see Bitcoin stabilize and inflate like they claim that it is, right? All the pro Bitcoin people, they say it's a store of value, it's always going to go up. That isn't really true if we see a 50, 80K dump 2, 3 months after altcoin season, right? So I and this is speculation, but I'm just betting on the fact that hey, maybe we don't go back down, and maybe there is real adoption right around the corner this year, because even though Congress and the House they're slow, but when they want to be fast, they can be fast, and the
That's what worries me, man. They're being too fast about this. And the legislation they're pushing through is stablecoin legislation, which is a CBDC, central based bank digital currency, man. It is the whole crypto narrative, I believe, is a way to control people. Everything the government has ever done has been about control, manipulation, and taking your data. Like the what crypto was originally intended for is being morphed into what they want it to be, is what I see. And I dude, nothing is indicating that they're moving towards using these other currencies. Everything is an indication of stablecoins. Every corporation, every business, every country is making its own stablecoin. And I think you're right. They'll use smart contracts on different blockchains to send, money back and forth, and that makes XRP a liquidity pool, man. And it's like trying to fill a
yeah.
bucket with no bottom in it. Like it's not a currency anymore. It's just it's something on the back end that, yeah, it'll make it, be somewhat valuable, but it won't make it 10K. It won't make it, maybe long way down the road, like hundreds of years from now, when a lot of it's been burned. Yeah, maybe we'll see it like, a few $1,000s. But I can't see anything that indicates that we're moving towards the direction like this guy Jake Claver's saying, all these people are saying. Nothing is an indication of that. And I'm believing the
Not
opposite.
publicly.
Yeah, but I'm believing the opposite of what they say because of what I see in the news and what I'm seeing happening with, legislation. And I'm seeing the direction it's actually going. And then I'm taking into effect that these people have everything to gain by feeding you a bill of goods to get you to throw your money into it. You know what I mean? They'll tell you anything they want you to hear just to get you to buy it.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. I just think that, like in a broader landscape, my point is Trump, he wants to change. Every single American wants a decentralized system. Nobody wants CBDCs. And Trump would basically fall short of everybody who voted for him because people are very vocal about this. And you could be right. They might just be saying it to pump the prices. But the other thing is, BlackRock doesn't have an XRP ETF. They don't hold XRP yet.
And they
And
haven't indicated whatsoever that they're going to.
which is probably most likely because we were talking about they're fighting the institutions. They want CBDCs, but
Oh,
the
yeah.
people don't want CBDCs. And what I think, and this is again because a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this, I think Trump is going to fight for the people who want a decentralized system, and I think that's going to end up playing out.
For the next
You
4 years, or what, 3.5 years. And think
three
about
and a
this.
half,
Trump
which
basically
isn't
has
that long away.
Trump has 18 months to get shit done. Really. 18 months. And we're already more than 6 months into that. So we got like a year and a couple months. Or no, we got like a
So
year left
that's
to.
why I think it would have to be now. Like if it does happen, those types of things that need like those caveats that need to happen would have to start foreseeing over the next couple of months now.
I don't think that
So
it's his top priority right now. I think his top priority is deportations and foreign policy. Crypto's kind of on the back burner with him, man. And the only thing he's really said about crypto is that, oh, we need to uh, get this stablecoin bill passed. Like, that doesn't scream that we're getting anything done this year.
I think we'll have to see what the Bitcoin prices do, because I think that'll be a really clear indicator. Because if we push past 150 and we don't dump, because again, like I mean, I was talking about Jay Claver, but there's hundreds of other people that say similar stuff to what he says, and I would be interested in hearing what exactly you disagree with him on. But for the most part, I guess I'm just looking at nobody wants CBDCs. The institutions want CBDCs, and I think this is why this has been dragged out for so many years, solely for this reason, because they want CBDCs, and then, obviously, normal civilians, they don't want CBDCs. But I think that there are people in our current administration that have a say, that have a powerful voice, that can do things past things, that also agree, and they don't want CBDCs either. Sure, it's a stretch, but that is a real possibility. And my whole point is, if it is true, what I'm saying, and it is a possibility that they don't want CBDCs, they would have to enact from the next following months till now, because you can't wait towards the last year of an administration. Doesn't leave enough time to pass stuff. So if this is going to end up conspiring, I just think that we are going to start seeing movements on it pretty soon here. And the fact that people are not talking about Bitcoin might not even drop past 150, that's a pretty good indicator to me. Now, obviously, that has to play out, but I mean, I told you I I saw the tweets. I saw 10,000K XRP tweets, and then I started looking into it. I was like, this isn't possible. And then I started re-looking into it, and I was like, well, actually, this could end up happening, and it's a real possibility, because if you ask Grok or any other AI model, besides the currency we have right now with the Swift system or CBDCs, crypto is the only other option that's currently available. And if I know in the back of my head that all these civilians don't want CBDCs, then there is always a chance that the current administration, who's very vocal about not wanting CBDCs, could end up pushing towards this new system. How big that will be, I don't know. It could be in increments, but I'm just still willing to bet that, hey, they might actually pull on through with what they said they were going to do.
But dude, you said it yourself. The institutions want CBDCs. They want stablecoins. Cosmic Crypto says stablecoins are the real CBDC, and I agree with that. The institutions want that, right? The countries all around the world, they want that. I believe that even the U.S. wants that. Those are the people that have the money for the lobbying to make things happen. The people generally don't get what they want. And I think that overall, they're aiming for the control aspect of crypto. They want to track everything. They want to have control of everything. They want to have everybody have their own stable coin. Every company is going to have their own stable coin. And then when you go to transact from stable coin to stable coin, it's going to cost gas fees, and you're going to, it's the new, what do you call it? When you overdraft fee for
Yeah.
crypto, it's the new overdraft fee. And that's seems more likely of what they want, and they usually get what they want, and they do it under the guise of, oh, we're passing legislation for crypto. Yeah, that's good for this bull run, because the normies that threw money into this are going to be like, yay, crypto coin bill, they're passing it, that's bullish. But I think in the long term, it's the death of decentralization. I really do.
It could be, but I'm just still willing to bet against that. And I mean, there's a lot of things that point to that. Maybe not publicly, but you also have to look, like we're talking about where you were mentioning deportation, all this stuff. All of that stuff isn't really stuff that, like, I mean, I don't see it as big of a deal as everybody makes it to be. I mean, you could talk about moon cheese, but the media also plays a big role in overstepping on topics and making them seem bigger like they are. And at the end of the day, I think that's the reason why I'm so confident in this end up happening, is because we're going to end up with CBDCs if this doesn't conspire. because I mean, you can ask any AI, how long is our current system going to last with the demand and needs that, are creeping up? Not very long. We're looking at maybe 2.5 to 5 years of our current Swift system till something has to change. So I'm just willing to bet if anybody is going to make a change, it would have to be Trump. I can't see anybody else willing to fight for that. So that's my point.
I
I don't
dude,
know.
I get what you mean. Okay. And you believe that Trump's going to fight for the people, fight, all that. I get it. And I think deep down in his heart somewhere, that's what he wants. But he's got 18 months from the day he got inaugurated to make things happen. And we've got what, 2 bills already? And it's been over 6 months. We've got a year left for anything to really happen. Maybe we get more than that over the next couple of years after that, but not really. I just, and you're telling me that this is all happening now, this year. It's gonna, all this XRP adoption and bank adoption is all happening this year. I just, no, 2030, I think 2030 we see all that, and by then it'll be a new administration. It'll be CBDCs in full force, and these crypto tokens they'll serve their purpose. They're going to have a place. I think a lot of them will go away. They'll disappear. But it just doesn't make sense, and it doesn't make sense because you're like, oh well, the people want this. Let me tell you what right now. Okay. We are in crypto, right? Less than 10% of the world's population is into crypto right now. Okay. And of that 10%, I'd say less than 1% of them are educated and even understand what it is. 90% of them are normie cryptos. Okay. They're normie crypto bros, and they buy Bitcoin because they don't even know the difference between cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. And they're uneducated, don't know what they're talking about, and they're the ones that are cheering for a stablecoin bill because it's going to make their bags pump right now. That's the issue, is you're saying that the people want this. The people don't even know what this is.
Well, I mean, more or less about cryptocurrency in general. I'm just more talking about a decentralized system, because you know what the implications are with CBDCs. And even though I could be biased because I'm holding cryptocurrency, I don't I don't want to grow up having to deal with CBDCs. I mean, at that point, I'll keep growing my company and fight for reform or something like that. Because I mean, I'm young and I couldn't stand seeing CBDCs, because the thing is like they talk about CBDCs in such a good way, but it's not. The only people who benefit off of CBDCs are the banks and institutions, and it makes the lives of millions of people much worse.
You said it
So
though. That's been a tale as old as time. The little guy loses, the institutions, the overlords, the oligarchs take over, take control. They're the ones with the money, they're the ones with the power, they're the ones with the influence, and they're the ones that are making the rules. So everything you're saying is true, but it doesn't point towards the direction of giving the people what they want. And, just like you said, you're young and you'll fight for it or whatever. You know what happens when the people rise up against the king? They grab their pitchforks and they grab their torches and they march on the castle. And the king comes out and says to the people, he says, people, listen, the people with the torches are trying to take away your pitchforks. And the people fight each other over it. And nothing ever happens. It's been happening like this forever. Nothing changes. I want to believe in change. I want to believe that the world can be better, but I don't see it. And I don't know if you believe in the Bible or not. And I'm not saying whether I do or not. This isn't a religious show, but there are a lot of people that are into XRP because they're religious. There's a bit of a trend with it. They buy it because they believe that the end times are here and that it is going to be the one world currency. Okay. I believe the one world currency is a digital currency ecosystem, and stable coins is that. But they're into XRP because they think that XRP is going to be this one world currency because of what it does and everything. Okay. But if they believe that to be true, that leads me down the path of not decentralization, but centralized digital bank currencies, because that's where the control comes from. And whether you believe it to be true or not, okay, there are people in the world that are in power that believe it to be true and will make anything that they make, every decision they can to make it true. Okay. So whether it's real or not, it's happening. So the fact that that's happening, that leads me down the road of, we're probably not going to decentralization. We're not putting the power of the money back in the people. I mean, literally, what is it? The House of Representatives is trying to change the stablecoin bill to give the Federal Reserve control of the regulation over crypto. What does that tell you? What has the Federal Reserve done to this country? They basically ripped it off, took over. Our country is owned by a private corporation. Everyone thinks Federal Reserve is federal because it has federal in the name. It is not. It's a private institution, and that's why Trump cannot fire Jerome Powell, because Jerome Powell and the Fed own this country. It is a bank. And giving the power of CBDCs or stable coins to the Fed, oh, believe me, that's it. It's over. It's over, and that's what they want. Go ahead, man.
That's a subset of people. I just think, let's look at the broader terms, because I mean, you brought up, a bunch of religious people are buying it. The other interesting side of that, though, too, is there's also a lot of people on the opposite side of that, you know, I mean, I'm sure you know what Trump has to do in correlation with a lot of religion, right? Like, there's this whole topic of he's going to come in and fix stuff, and whether that's a religious thing or not, I think that that's what's going to end up happening. Might not look like it at the moment, but we're screwed if we get CBDCs. And although usually institutions get what they want, and I can't disagree with that because that's how things always have been, that doesn't mean that for once in a lifetime they don't get what they want, right? Like, that's something to put into perspective. You're right to call out that these institutions usually get what they want, but there is the offset chance that they don't, because Trump got wrecked by the same institutions and people the minute he started running for presidency. So he doesn't really have a reason to basically do whatever they want at this point, right? And obviously he doesn't get the final say of everything, but if just enough people push against this, I think we have a solid chance at not being centralized. And even if we do end up going centralized,
I just broke it down to you. There's not enough people. 90% of the people in crypto are normies that are cheering it on. So that's the majority. I mean, the other rest of the world population doesn't care about crypto, won't care, won't get into it until it's forced upon them. Maybe we get 15%, okay? I think we're just under 10, all right? Maybe we get 15%, and of that 15%, 95% of it is going to be crypto normies that have no idea what they're buying. They're buying Bitcoin because they don't, like I said, they don't even know the difference between cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. They think they're the same thing. So you are in the top 1% of the crypto educated, okay? And everyone watching this show, everyone getting educated are in the top 1%. There is not enough people that know anything to fight back. The institutions know everything. They know more than we do. And they're playing 4D chess with crypto right now. And I don't think we stand a chance. There's not enough people to fight back. There is no movement. There's no army. The armies are different coin armies. We have, the XRP army, the Shiba army, the Ethereum army, all these different armies. But we're all fighting against each other over which coin is better because when the people rise up against the king tells them the people with the torches are trying to take away your pitchforks. And that's what's happening right now. They're fighting over what coin is going to be the end all be all, is going to be the coin. You know, you got your Bitcoin maxis, you got your Ethereum maxis, you got your XRP maxis, you got your algo maxis, all the way down to Shiba and Fartcoin. Okay? There are literally people in crypto that bought Trump coin because they thought that Trump coin was going to be the new US dollar. That's what I'm trying to say. People aren't educated enough. People don't know. That's why I have this show, because I want people to wake up. I want people to understand what's going on. And just like you're educated. You know what you're talking about when you talk, but you have a bias, which is fine. You're in the XRP army, but we have to realize that we are the crypto army and we need to come together and fight against this CBDC thing. But I think we don't have the numbers or the control or the power or the resources. And the people that do won't care. They won't care as long as their bags are growing. That's what, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but that's what it's been through every administration we've ever had since I've been alive, and probably before. The administration passes laws to grow themselves financially and don't care how it affects the future because they're not going to be around to see it. That's why the world is in the shit show it's in right now. I just don't see what you think is going to make any of that change.
I mean, people themselves can't make the change. It would have to be the people who are in the government positions. Like, because you're saying we don't have enough people educating crypto. That's a fact, but at the end of the day, it's more or less about them needing to be in it. It's about it being used decentralized. And at the end of the day, even if I could convince 100 million people how bad CBDCs are, what is that realistically going to do? They can't vote in these
Nothing.
Congress
Yeah, they're not
meetings.
going to do anything.
So
They're going to go, oh, that's bad. I better go to work.
this is really going to end up relying on Trump's administration to pull this through. And my whole thing is, and I mean, you mentioned me being part of the XRP army, somewhat true. At the end of the day, I mean, that's not the only coin I hold. I'm more pro crypto overall, and I'm very anti CBDC. And I post a lot anti CBDC. I explain why, but I just think that I'm willing to put money where my mouth is, and I think that Trump is going to pull through.
Hey,
Right? If he does,
Josh, don't mean to cut you off. Chat is asking who you are. They want to know who we're talking to. Can you tell us who you are and what you do and your background real quick, and then we'll jump back into it?
yeah. So, I mean, I'm still relatively young, but I dropped out of high school after class this year. I'm building my own company. I'm not going to say the name of it, but it's a record label. So I worked with a lot of influencers. I did video editing, videography, and then I got into investing, crypto. I don't have any flashy degrees, but I somewhat, to a degree, know what I'm talking about. Um, Obviously, some people could debate me on some of the things I talk about, but yeah, 17 and I'm well versed into the business space. I keep up with everything, and I talk very openly about my stance against central bank digital currencies, or really anything, of the matter of fact, that takes more and more power away from the general public.
Yeah, and dude, I get it, man. Like you're fighting the revolution right now. You're on the front lines right now. We all are. Um, but go ahead and finish your thought we were talking about. I didn't mean to cut you off. It's just chat wanted to know who you were.
I think if I could give like one final message, right, and that's all I could say, I would say is, even if we end up going centralized, obviously XRP will still play some sort of role in it. I wouldn't be happy about it. But I just think that it's more important right now that more people go out and educate people against CBDCs and really expose them for what they are, because the news definitely isn't saying what it is. Institutions aren't saying what implies with it. They say the word CBDC, but what does that actually mean? What changes for the average person? And then I really, really believe that the current administration will do their best to avoid a centralized system at all costs. I mean, Trump's brother, or not his brother, sorry, his son, very, very vocal that that's what they're trying to do. They might fail, but they're really trying right now, whether people disagree with me on that or not. I think there is a real battle going on right now over if we get centralized or if we go decentralized. For the most part, we are already centralized right now. I mean, how different is the SWIFT system from CBDCs, right? The only thing that changes is transaction speed, and then also a whole bunch of subsets like your transaction has to get approved. They can take money out of your account whenever, all this type of stuff that just flows past people's head that they don't even think about. And if I say I'm pro crypto in general, that's because there's no other option. If somebody could point me to another direction besides CBDCs and cryptocurrency that is decentralized and it would actually work, that would be great, but there is none. So at this point, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but weren't there companies developing CBDCs, but they weren't like crypto chain CBDCs?
I'm
It
not
would just
sure.
be there.
I don't have Jesse right now to fact check. I gave her a vacation. Um, but we can
I
look
think
into that. Message me about it on Discord here, and we'll look into it. You're gonna come back on the show for sure, man. I like having you on.
I just, obviously, yes, I am young, but I also don't want to see, my future kids having to grow up in a centralized system. It's not beneficial to people at all, and
No,
it doesn't make the world a fair place.
nobody wants the world to be the way it is now. Nobody wants that for the future, except for the oligarchs. And they're the ones that have power. They always have been. Even like the Roman Empire, man, the Roman Empire never fell. We're in the Roman Empire. That's what civil law is. We literally still live under Roman law. Like nothing has changed. Generation after generation, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Yes, I want crypto to be everything that you're saying. I want it. We all want it. Chat wants it. We all want it. Okay. I just don't think there's enough of us awake to start a revolution. We're trying. We're literally, I say this on the show all the time. We are here. This show exists because we are fighting on the front lines of freedom. Okay. This is the front line. This is the new battlefield. The battlefield will not be fought with guns and cannon fodder. It will be fought in your mind, and it will be televised, and it will be fought with pen and paper. Okay. I had a vision a few years back, and my vision is that I would be fighting in this war, but I wouldn't be shooting people with a gun. I would be shooting with a camera. And that's when I decided I wanted to be a journalist. And I get it, man. I want everything you're saying. Everyone does. But they're not going to let it happen. People are going to get rich. And what's going to happen is they're going to get rich and they're going to get sucked into the club. Right? They're going to get sucked into the club and they're going to say, sit down, shut your mouth, and lick the boot. They want you to live in the pod and eat the bugs, man. They literally put out like an op-ed on, I want to say, New York Times about how they want this new world government and system, and that they want people to live in pods and eat bugs. It's out there. I'll have Jesse look it up. I'll put it in the news section on the Discord. It exists. This is what they want. It's called Project 31. And everybody is focused on Project 2025 because like Trump is supposedly in office, but excuse me, it's not Project 31. It's Agenda 31. It used to be Agenda 21 and they pushed it back to 2031. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's their agenda. That's why we're having a global economic shift. That's why we're in World War III right now. Some would say, oh, no, we're not. No, we're in it. Okay. And anytime there is a global economic shift throughout history, we get all out war, and we're in it. It's happening right now. The playbook is just repeating itself. The timeline is just repeating itself. The history doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes, man. And people just don't learn from the past. That's one thing that we can learn from the past, is that we never learn from it. I want it all. I want the decentralization. I want the power of the money put back in the hands of the people. But call me pessimist. You know I'm always the bearer of bad news around here. But I just call it like I see it, man. There's no... we do technical analysis, right? You're using indicators to figure out where the projection of things are going, right? There are no indicators that indicate that that's the trajectory that we're headed. We want it. Everybody wants everything to moon, but if the indicators aren't indicating that, it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, I guess it's just why it's important. I mean, you mentioned New World Order, right? Most people call that a conspiracy theory, and something's funny. I know a lot of people, and I'm friends with a lot of people in a very successful business world. The one thing that absolutely blew my mind, everybody's always talking about these conspiracy theories. And what people need to realize is that all these conspiracy theories tie into the financial side of the way that the world runs. It doesn't matter if a Republican is in office or if a Democrat is in office.
It's a
This is the stuff
uniparty.
that matters. Like, this is where we're at. And I am so like mind focused. I just think that the current administration is going to pull through and create change. If that change will be permanent, I don't know. But I just feel pretty confident that they'll be able to do it.
Dude, I honestly, I don't believe in this administration. I don't believe in any of it. Look at, we're supposed to have no new wars. What has it been? War after war after war. We were supposed to get war in Ukraine over within 24 hours. That ain't happening. You got to understand, politicians lie. And you could say, oh, Trump's not a politician. But I mean, dude, I think he wants to do good things. But at the same time, I think the overall agenda is get rich. Because let me tell you what, right now, the ship is sinking and the rich are stealing the silverware from the ship. Okay. And I'm over here, I'm just trying to get my family to the lifeboat.
Yep.
Because, you said the New World Order is kind of like a conspiracy theory. It is not a conspiracy theory. They have openly talked about it and said that this is what they want and this is the direction that they're heading. And you want to go into conspiracy theory. I think the conspiracy theory part of it is that we need a one world government in order to enter into the Galactic Federation. Okay. That's the conspiracy part of it. But there's a true reality. There's a true reality that we are headed towards a one world government. Why? Control. And same with having CBDCs, it's about control. They can now track your data, know where you spend it, how you spend it, and create ads that are specifically designed for you when you need that dopamine hit to get you to buy something.
Which, in other words, is and just to be clear, I didn't mean to say it was a conspiracy theory. I said what I was trying to say is I think it's sad that so many people think it's a conspiracy theory because it's not, and it's more. I mean, let's call it for what it is. It's more like an enslavement of the civilization because they're forcing you to work this job and you can't even really spend the money how you want to.
We're enslaved
I really
now.
know what yeah.
And look at China. China, and I think maybe Japan, but I know China has the social credit score. That's what they're headed towards. And this whole like green stuff that they're doing, they're going to make it to where it's like, robots are going to have all the jobs. AI is going to run everything and do things. There will be jobs, obviously, but The wealthy will have the wealth. The poor will be poor. They'll have UBI. Do you know what UBI is?
Not sure.
Universal base income. Okay.
Oh yeah.
They'll get
Yeah.
a subsidies check from the government. Okay. That they'll have to live off of, and they won't ever be able to save any of it. They'll have to spend it within a
Yeah.
certain time. Otherwise, it zeroes out and they get a new one. But then at the same time, everything will be tracked. And if you don't spend it in the right way, the way they want you to do, they'll say, oh, you've used your gas portion for the time you can't buy any more gas, but you have more to spend. You can buy groceries or whatever. And they'll say, oh, you bought too much meat. You have to buy fish, or you have to buy bread, or you know what I mean? It's all going to be control based. That is the future that they're moving towards. And it all starts with CBDCs. So yeah, it is a revolution that we have to fight right now. We have to take control of the of finance. The people do. And we have an opportunity right now with crypto, but I think we're losing an uphill battle.
Certainly looks that way. I guess I'm very optimistic. You could say I'm always
Definitely.
against the masses in a say, and I don't think that's a bad thing to do or have. But you know, there's even people saying, Ripple will succeed even in CBDCs, right? Because they were targeting that because that's how it looked like it was going to go. I wouldn't really be happy if I made all this money, but the whole world is cooked for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So
I think
I
the whole
think it's
world is
really,
cooked. I just want
I
to get
mean,
my family to the lifeboat, and I want to get everybody
yeah,
in the chat in the lifeboat as well, because the ship is sinking. And
I mean, yeah,
the only way we're ever going to change this is if people like you and me in chat get rich off of this system, then we have an opportunity to fight. That's where we'll have our opportunity. But if we are broke, living in the pot, eating the bugs, then we can't fight back. But if we can get into that upper class, if we can get into that area and not let the money corrupt us, we have an opportunity to make change. And that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping to wake people up, keep them awake, and keep them not greedy. So that way there is a chance. But I think in the long term, maybe 100 years down the road, but it all depends on how we teach our children, how our chat teaches their children, and if we can change the culture. That's how this war is going to be fought. It's a culture war. And if we don't change people's ideologies and just where everyone's out for number one, man. Everybody just wants to get rich, get their own, get to their lifeboat. And c'est la vie, my lifeboat's a yacht. Must be, sorry for you. You're stuck on a inflatable raft or floating on a door with Jack, like that's the idea, is like trying to create an environment, a group of people here that are awake and alive to what's actually going on, and realize that things aren't happening now. It's a long-term thing in order for us to change this. This is a generational battle. We have to raise our children in a way that we can see the light. And dude, you're great, man. You're a young kid and you're more awake than most people, even financially, but also like mentally. You are awakened. And I wouldn't say what, because I think that's something different, but you are awakened in a way that you understand that we're at the precipice of everything happening right now. We are at the precipice, and I believe it all boils down to this stable coin bill. I think it's the first step in the wrong direction. And it'll be a cascading effect from there. And we have to educate people and let them know, hey, call your senator, call your congressman. Dude, I literally had a segment where I brought up the website where people can go and actually reach out to their congressman, reach out to their senator, so that way they can write letters and do something. The problem is everyone wants to rabble here in the chat, but nobody actually wants to get on the website and write a fucking letter that ChatGPT can write for them.
Do that all the time.
That's the problem. Nobody wants to actually do something. I'm retired. I have
Yeah.
all the money I could ever need. I've got plenty of toys and things. I could be on vacation right now and just enjoying myself and say, fuck you, chat. I don't care. But I care about the people. And that's
Yeah.
why I do this. I'm literally sit in my chair for 4 hours straight, no breaks, no stopping, just going every single day because I feel like this is the only place that I have skin in the game where I can actually fight back and where I can
Yeah.
lift up others to fight back. That's why I'm so supportive of the other creators. The other creators, you know, some of them are on point, some of them aren't. But if we can get the creators together, then we can actually start a movement and get the results that you're talking about. That's the only way this is achievable is with education. And I want what you're saying. I want it so bad. Chat wants it. You want it. Deep in our soul, we all know that this could get bad really quick. And
Yep.
I know I'm real pessimist about everything, but that's because I'm very analytical. I listen to everything, believe nothing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I do you have a platform? Because chat's asking me like, where's this guy's live? I want to go watch him.
No, I don't really make crypto content, but I feel like I should.
I think you should. I think you got a good start. Start a channel, man, and I'll get you, 1,000 followers like that.
I wanted to say now that we're talking about this, not gonna say the name of my company, but my goal was with my record label is I hate the way that the current music industry is run. So that's where I have that anti control vibe from. I don't like the things artists have to do. They have to sell themselves out to get to places. So I'm trying to, this is going to sound crazy, but I'm trying to build an actual 100% independent label and grow it bigger than UMG and Sony to take a stab against them. And so that's where I get that sort of mentality drive from. And I obviously I care about getting wealthy, and I like what you said about we need more people to get up to this area of the elites and then start breaking down the system. The only issue is so many people say they're going to do that. The minute they get rich, they
They
meet the
don't.
other elites and then they switch teams, and it's a repeating cycle every single time. And it's an actual issue because so many people they say they want to fight for it, but nobody's doing anything. I'm probably out here sending so many letters and emails. The amount of comments that Instagram removes off of videos of me just trying to spread out the truth, it's absolutely absurd. I've went through it all. And I'm very awake to everything, and that's why I guess in a sense I'm so emotional about this because this is the breaking point. If change doesn't happen within this administration, we're probably cooked for I don't know, however long till somebody comes
1,000
in and
years.
starts actually making it. Yeah. So it's a real issue at hand, and everybody's playing this political battle over deportations. That might be an issue, but the big issue at hand is the financial system because at the end of the day, that's what controls everybody.
Yeah. And I agree with you 100%, man. Um, but I just don't think enough people will actually do anything. I want to
Yeah.
believe in mankind. The problem is the individual is usually a good person, but as a mass, as a whole, people are terrible. And
Yeah.
just like you said, as soon as they get into that position of power, they switch sides. And I'll tell you why. There's a psychology behind it. Is people are so or have so little control of their lives the moment that they have authority or power over someone else, they abuse their power because they've been abused so much that it feels good to do it. It feels good to be bad.
Yeah.
And that's why you see bad cops. That's why you see bad politicians. That's why you see bad leaders and rulers, is because
Yeah.
either they're born with a silver spoon in their mouth and they think they're better than everybody, or they get to a position of power with a badge or whatever it may be that gives them that power, and then they abuse it. So
Yeah.
I don't see the future where this gets good unless the people unite and the people understand that the people with the torches are not trying to take away their pitchforks, and that's why this show exists, to maybe try to wake up some people. But I
Yeah.
think you agreed with me. Getting in to the top, becoming wealthy, and keeping that mindset of freedom is possible. I'm living proof. I'm sitting here before
Yeah.
you, where I could literally do whatever I want, and I choose to fight
Yeah.
the good fight. There are good people, but there's just too few, and there's too many
Yeah.
people that are caught up in the rat race, that they hear it, they want to do something about it, but they don't. And it's like, you watch Star Wars and you cheer for the rebellion, but in real life you're rooting on the Empire.
Yeah. I was gonna say, if we're gonna talk about, and maybe I might consider making content around this, but also the greater stuff. I was gonna say, I think uh if I figure out a way how to stay in contact with you, because I think I could also be a really big help in helping you grow as well, because I do a lot of editing and social media, so I have a lot of insight to that. I mean, I could help you probably figure out ways how to create like broader content and like clip stuff up on YouTube. So
I'll tell
like
you what,
definitely let me know.
when you're on
Because
this
I
show, viewership is the highest we ever have.
man, because I'm kind of pumped right now, and if you have the same end goal, like let me know, because I have a lot of expertise in this stuff, and
I do too, man.
I
I'm
want to,
actually,
yeah.
I'm an audio video engineer, retired. Like, you see the production quality here. Like,
Yeah.
this is what I do. You should see the other side of the camera, what I got going on here.
Yeah,
So
but if you ever need anything, let me know, because yeah,
likewise,
I'm
man. I think we should make this a regular thing, and you should maybe think about putting a platform together, and we can use this show to grow your space, and vice versa.
yeah, I
Coalition.
think that's a good idea.
I think we argue really well because we don't hate each other for difference of opinions. We're willing to allow each other to have that difference, and go back and forth. That's another part of the show, is I want to normalize the idea that I don't have to hate you because we don't think in alignment. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
okay to have a difference of opinions.
I
That
think really the only difference in opinion that I have is that I think I'm optimistic about a decentralized system, but other than that, I think we're overall on the same page.
Well, you think XRP is going to 11D too, though.
Okay, true, true, true. Yeah.
You're eating the moon cheese, which is fine, man. If that's what you want to do, we're all going to make our own choices, but I'm not convinced. I want to be, dude. When I brought you on here, I'm on the fence right now. I am a fence sitting goat, okay? Waiting to see which side of the grass is greener, okay?
Yeah.
I
I
want
mean,
I want to believe all these other creators, everybody's saying the same thing, and I'm like, I don't buy it, because they all got something to gain from it. You got something to gain for it. I do too.
true.
I
Yeah.
have everything to gain from XRP going up. I'm mainly
Yeah.
holding stable coins right now, but I still got my moon bags, you know?
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
XRP I bought back in 2016 that's just still sitting there. And if it
Yeah.
does take off to $10, great. I'll
Yeah.
retire again. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I think one thing that I want to be clear is I don't believe in it going that high because everybody else has said it. I've genuinely spent like hundreds of hours doing deep research on it. And honestly, now that you mention it, if I did make a platform, it'd probably be a good opportunity for me to make like longer drawn out videos on that. But I'm also very open with the point that I don't want to say that to get other people to FOMO into it. My the only point that, and I'm very vocal about it too, like we're not going to get here with retail, but I'm just open to the fact that it could happen, and there's some facts besides it, whether controversial or not. But still, it's important that people understand what's happening, especially top of this altcoin cycle. People make they gotta at least take some profits because you can't just
Yeah.
hold through the bottom again.
Yeah.
And that's why I told my dad because he's got a decent amount of it too. I want to be in the position where I can take some profits, but hold enough to where, like, if this ends up happening at any random time, I'm still good.
Moonbag.
But I still think people should build wealth and, like, any other stable coin too, even besides XRP. When we get this altcoin season, no matter how big or how small it is, you need to make sure that when it's the end and when you have to start taking out these profits. Otherwise, you're going to get sucked into it. And then, because the thing is, this is the most important lesson. If you make a couple $1,000s this run, if you at least take it out, next time we go back up, you'll be more educated. You'll buy in sooner because I'm sure a lot of people, this might be their first run. And now the second time out, they might know how this game works now with these charts and these cycles and the fake outs and the bear traps. If you can do your best to make the money that you need to make off of this cycle and you can preserve it, then the next time this rolls around, you can keep building off of that.
Yeah. Let me tell you, the problem is people, when the cycle comes and it moons, they see all the
Yeah.
crypto bros take profits and they're living well, they're doing good or whatever. They've been eating ramen for the last 4 years,
Yeah.
and then finally they're splurging out, okay? And then all the normies are like, "Oh, I want that," and they buy the top, and they're the exit liquidity for the crypto bros, right? And people, that's why I'm looking at XRP at like $2, and I'm like, yeah, maybe it goes up some more, or maybe it doesn't, but the way you get rich in this is using that 4-year period to accumulate, buying the bottom, waiting for the next run. And I think a lot of people, they don't understand that that's how you get rich. It doesn't happen overnight. It seems like it does because you'll see a dude eating ramen for, however long, and then all of a sudden next day he rolls up in a new Lambo or whatever, buys a house, remodels his kitchen
when the market was red.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like, I'm not saying don't buy XRP. I'm gonna buy more. Okay, is right now the right time? I think not. I think somewhere around $1.50 to $1 would be a good spot to buy in this bull run. And if it doesn't go that low, then okay, 180. But why would you buy it at 250, 260 if it's only going to $3? Like, yeah, there's money to be made there, but I want to enter my money in smart money entry zones, and people don't understand that because other creators are just like, oh yeah, it's going to 10K. It doesn't matter what price you buy it at. You're looking good.
I mean, even $10 would still be good, or even 8.
Oh yeah,
$5 even.
Yeah, $5 would be great. I'd love to see $5. Is it possible? Yeah, we could see 5, 8, 10. I think at the most, I don't think it'll happen this run, $15. Okay, but it's possible.
That's how high Bitcoin goes.
Yeah, but I think by 2030 we could see $25. But why would you buy it at $2 right now when you can buy it next year? At 50 cents, 75 cents.
I think what amazes me is nobody wants to buy when the market is all the way red. Like, my biggest thing now that I have where I'm going to walk away from this with more money is the minute like this altcoin season is over, one, I'm going to be shorting the market down when we do start falling. But two, I'm going to wait till the market has totally bottomed out, and I'll just be accumulating over those however many years till it goes back up, because that's when the real money is made. Nobody wants to buy when it's red, but that's the method.
Yeah,
the method is
if you do that, if you put $50, $100 a month until 2030 into the market, you're going to be retired long before I am. You know what I mean? But the problem is this the last real bull run? are we going to CBDCs and by 2030 everything's changed so dramatically that everything goes away and all these currencies are worthless? That's why I'm like,
That's a good point.
that's why I'm not looking at XRP for long term anymore. What I'm looking at is Algorand, Ondo. I'm looking at real world assets. And that's why it's the big thing right now, because everybody who understands what I'm seeing, they see it too. The ultra rich see it too. And they're like, okay, what is these currencies going to be? It's not for certain, but I'll tell you what, real world asset tokenization is going to be massive because it's backed by something that actually holds value. Right now, all of these currencies, XRP, Bitcoin, you name it, they're backed by fiat still. It's still fiat currency.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I do is, so like I have a lot of land. I have a massive classic car collection. I try to diversify in not just liquid assets, but also hard assets. I buy jewelry, diamonds, gold, but I don't buy them in the liquid form on the market. I buy the hard asset. And I want to hold it and know that I have it. You know what I mean? So it's diversified in a way of digital and in real life. And I'd say in real life, I have more assets in real life than I do actually in the market. And you know, when tokenization of real world assets comes along and I can tokenize my classic car, you know, that's going to be massive. You know, people are going to want to own a share of a classic car. Maybe you can't
NFTs kind of.
Yeah. Maybe you can't own one, but you can own a share of it because you know that it's going to appreciate in value.
Yep.
And that's why I'm like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be so focused on currencies and I should be more focused on real world assets like Algorand, man, is why, dude, I was turned off to Algorand for the longest time. And I wish I had been more into it, but I watched the crypto summit where I think it was like either the owner or the founder of Algorand comes on and she's talking and she's like, what if you live in an apartment building and you want to have solar? Well, you can't have it because you got 4 floors on top of you. You have no roof or yard to put solar, right? But with Algorand, you can buy a portion of a tokenized asset, which would be solar panels in a solar farm, which is basically the same thing as having them on your roof.
Yeah.
And I heard that and I was like, this is mind blowing. This is what I want. Cause like I'm building a solar farm right now. I'm working with Tesla to create a charging station and a solar farm out here because I believe that the planes are going to start being electric as well. And this place is an airport, basically. It's a fueling station for planes. So I got to move with the times too. Like, so.
Yeah. Dubai's talking about tokenization a lot recently too.
Yeah.
Heavily.
And that's why I'm like, maybe, okay, like, yeah, this bull run, of all the alts that have potential to run up, XRP for sure. But I think come the next cycle, those who got into, I mean, look at Algorand, bro. You're looking at the thing right now. Algorand's at the bottom, bro.
Yeah.
Algorand's at the bottom, and it's got a nice double bottom that's formed right now. And that shows that it'll push probably by September, October. That'll be great. You know, maybe it sees 50 cents, maybe it sees $5. Who knows, right? I doubt it's going to see all-time highs because the liquidity is more spread out than it's ever been. There's more projects, so it's not going to absorb everything. But I think it definitely has the potential to hit 50 cents. And
I think that's what is,
And I think it's a great position. I'm looking to buy it. Why would you buy XRP right now with the hopes that it could hit $5, $10, $20? Maybe it does. Yeah, it probably will. And I'll accumulate some more when it comes back down. But I already bought down here. Why would I buy up here? I'm looking at this and I'm like, this is prime for the picking. This is perfect. This is what we want. And maybe it doesn't give as much returns as XRP this cycle, but I think next cycle it will. And it's
I've
already
heard a
at
lot of people say that.
yeah.
Like this cycle is going to be a lot of random projects just because they quote have utility, and obviously also controversial. But if Bitcoin does end up going above 150, we could see maybe one of the largest alt cycles we have. But after this one, if that does end up happening, the next one is only going to be actual utility, but not only utility that's actively being used. So
What happens if Bitcoin runs up to 250 and only comes back down to 225? No alt season? What do you think?
uh I mean, you look at everybody's posting online about the Bitcoin dominance charts, right? Versus, altcoin dominance.
I think those are
And we're
irrelevant, and it's really
yeah,
not.
they
It's
are,
not.
yeah.
It's not altcoin dominance. It's Ethereum dominance, and I don't think
Some
Ethereum is going to do as much. I mean, Ethereum's great, and it's everything is built on Ethereum. It's secure, but it's also dying dead technology. So maybe it doesn't play as much of a role.
yeah.
You know,
I don't like Ethereum. I think the gas fees are too high. I also think, and this is something that I'll say against Trump, is you notice how they're pushing ETH so much. That's only because all the rich people have Ethereum and they got to pump it for them. So,
yeah,
um, I there's a whole perspective. Somebody was telling me maybe this isn't like the other alt cycles where Bitcoin goes up, then people start selling their Bitcoin and the money flows into altcoins, which is how it usually happens. Maybe Bitcoin goes up really high this time without Ethereum, and only some certain alts that are actually good go up along with that. That could also be something that could end up playing out too.
yeah, like utility coins, right? So
Yep.
I think this is the utility cycle. So
Yeah.
altcoins I believe, are in a different classification. I think,
The wording is crazy too because they call everything that isn't Bitcoin an altcoin, but I think we need more wording in a way.
yeah, and that's why I say utilities. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to buy altcoins. I want to buy utility coins, things that can
Yeah.
actually do something, because I think that those will be the ones that actually pump. I think
Yeah.
top 10, top 10 for this cycle. And if you're below that, you're probably not going to see too much. Even Algorand, I think it's like 54. So um, I think I'm looking at this one for the next cycle. I'm always
Yeah.
too early. I'm always too ahead of things. Like,
It isn't bad.
yeah, which is why I got XRP so early. Like, no one even knew what Bitcoin was. They were buying Bitcoin. I was buying XLM and XRP.
Yeah.
So like,
What's your thoughts on XLM? You think it's gonna do something this altcoin cycle or not?
it's gonna
Or I shouldn't say
do
altcoins.
it's gonna do exactly what XRP does. It's gonna follow it to
Mhm.
the T.
Yeah, because I hold some of that too. I'm pretty diversified, but
Let me tell you this:
yeah,
don't be too diversified,
yeah,
especially because it's just spreading the liquidity out, and then with the gas fees, unless you've got 100K or more into spread out, and even with 100K, I'd say no more than 10, maybe no more than 5. You know,
mhm,
if you have 100 grand into one project, the gas fees are significantly lower.
yeah,
So if you're holding a couple mil, then yeah, maybe 5 or 10. But I think people are too spread out. Like, I see a lot of people, because I do the coaching, and They're like, hey, so I've got $500 invested, and these are all the projects I'm holding. And I'm like, dude, you're holding like 70 projects. They're like, yeah, I got like
Yeah.
$5, $2, $1. I'm like, you're never gonna make any money, man. Like the gas fees alone are gonna kill you. And then when it all moons, you're gonna have to go and pull out of every single one. And like by the time you get down to halfway through, it's already gonna start collapsing.
Yeah, I mean, I should specify when I say diversified, I'm talking more like songs like
Yeah.
Bitcoin,
We have
ADA.
to be careful as creators because you
Yeah,
are a creator now, man. You're on this show. So everything
yeah,
you say holds weight. We have a
yeah,
responsibility to the people watching right now.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Anyway, I appreciate having you on. Did you have anything more to say?
Uh, no, not really. I think it's been a very eventful conversation, and yeah, let me know if you want to talk about any social media stuff because I think I noticed you go live a lot, but I think that you have a big opportunity with clipping some of these good moments as well and posting them as actual videos too.
Well, maybe we can team up. Like
Yeah, I'm down for
sometimes we're
that.
on your show, sometimes you're on my show. I know Cosmic Crypto and Bullish Babe, they do the same thing. And that's grown both of them exponentially. So
Yeah.
I don't know, think about it. I enjoy having you on. You're kind of like a regular guest here now. And
Yeah, I just think
I was going to say, if you have like a camera and everything, then you can come on as a co-host, and actually people can actually see you, and you can write in the chat and everything. I think it'd be
I
cool.
have a whole setup and everything, so yeah, we could do that.
All right, let's do it. DM me on Discord, bro. We'll work it out because I like having you on, man.
All right,
All right, take care, buddy.
all right, see you, bro.
All right, that's Josh. You can't afford another co-host. Nah, I won't be paying him. Won't be paying him, but maybe we can work something out. Yeah, what a great conversation. What a great conversation. And if you're watching the show and you're not following, make sure you follow, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, become a subscriber. We offer one-on-one coaching for deluxe subscribers. So if you're new to the markets or you don't really know what you're doing, we can create a plan catered to your specific portfolio to help you get profitable. Okay. And I pretty much do on-demand technical analysis throughout the week, Monday through Friday. If you want to know where any project's going or where, resistance, support, all that, you just send me a message and I look it up for you on demand because I can't be live all the time. However, if you're looking to learn technical analysis, we've got a couple spots left for the technical analysis class. It's going to be held on Sundays. So you join my Discord, and the link for my Discord's in the bio, and then you can sign up for the technical analysis class. Send me a DM if you're interested. Guinea Marie, you're coming to it. Send me a message because you got to send payment. I think I got like 2 spots left. There's a few people that are like waiting. They say that they're going to join the class and they just haven't sent payment yet. Whoever sends payment first is going to get in there first. And the idea is to get you in the class, okay, and not to milk you. That's why I'm doing limited spots, okay? Because I want to get you taught, learned, and on your way, okay? And I wanted everyone to kind of filter through out at the same time. Obviously, if you feel like you need more, you can stay longer and we'll bring in new people. And the class will kind of start, we'll go over like fundamentals a little bit for them. But the idea is to keep it flowing through and to have it small, because it's going to be on Discord where you can message me, not just in the chat, but you can get on the voice call and we can talk about these things where it's like an actual class. So when you have questions, it doesn't take forever trying to chat back and forth. We can actually talk and have a conversation and deep dive into this stuff, you know, and I have my own style. I'm not like every other trader out there. My goal is to teach you how I do it and get you on your way. And there's plenty of other people that are offering classes, you know, they're going to teach you about indicators and all these different things. What I'm going to teach you is how I do mine very quickly, because time is money. I do the TA like this. I don't have to pull up any other nonsense. All the information you need is right here in the candles. All right. That's what I'm going to teach you. And when you do it that way, you become more accurate. The indicators will mess you up. They will throw you off. So that's my goal. While there is a ton of gifts that came in, I can't even name all of them. Thank you all for all the gifts. I appreciate all you guys' overwhelming love and support. We've made about $2.96 this live, which is, yeah, whatever. Let's see if we can get a galaxy. Usually if we get like 2 galaxies alive, then it's like, okay, we actually made like money. I'm trying to make at least like $20 alive. Obviously that it's not always going to happen, but we've been kind of averaging that. So if you want to help support the show, you can send gifts that way. You can also just send donations directly. If you want to know the Cash App or Venmo, PayPal, you can message me directly and I can send that to you. That's the best way to give because it's a donation. It's tax-free. TikTok doesn't take from it. It goes directly towards paying the staff here. All the donations, that's where it goes. And then we do a donation run once a month where we get donations for a good cause, whatever. We've been, the last 2 we gave to Save a Warrior Foundation. We raised $75 for each one, which is great. I want to break that record. Okay. Each month we've raised $75 and it's the same people giving the same amounts and it's great and I love it, but I want to grow it. I want to give back to the community. I want to help people. And when you donate, you're helping to donate to the show and you're helping to donate to a good cause. And at the same time, you don't have to pay the fees that these donations charge. So the funds that you donate actually go to the organization to do what you're donating to. So, because a lot of times, most of the donations just go to fees and administration stuff. So that's why we do it this way. So it's a great way to support the community, support people and different organizations. Our next one is going to be, I don't know if it's called the Tim Ballard Foundation, but it's by Tim Ballard. If you saw the movie Sounds of Freedom, and it's going to be for stopping SAing of children and trafficking. So that's one thing that I really believe in and I want to help fight against. So that'll be our next one. I haven't really looked into it. I've been so busy. Marco says, I'll donate if you give Jesse a raise. You guys want me to give Jesse a raise? I'll tell you what. Let's, yesterday I said $100 and I would give Jesse a donation or not a donation. I would give her a raise. Okay. I was being hyperbolic. I cannot afford to give her a $400 a month raise on what she's already getting. But I will give her a raise if we can get more people donating directly. Big Baller, thank you. I appreciate the donation. We can get more people donating directly every month, then yeah, I will give her a raise. But it's got to be more than what we're getting. We're getting a few $100, you know. And I guess, like, you know, with the TA class, it's kind of offsetting the finances. So if we get, you know, the TA class full and we're getting donations and stuff, I will consider giving her a raise. I think she deserves it. Okay. I really do. I want her to make as much as the IT guy does. I just can't afford it. And the IT guy, he makes a ton of money because where I live, there's not many people that can do what he does. And he's here every day. Every day we go live, he shows up. He's on time. He's very professional. And he's only 18 years old. And he does just an outstanding job. And so I'm like, hey, man, like, if this is going to put you through college, then I got you, bro. But we got to become profitable, though. We got to become profitable in order to give people a raise here, because I'm not making anything. I'm actually getting quite the opposite. I'm getting nothing from this. I do make money from my trades, but all that goes back into the business. And I know one day it will become profitable. I know it will. But for now, it's not. And it's just not in the cards, because I do believe that we're about to pump. And I'm like, hey, like, I want to make sure the bags are full for blast off, so that I can make sure that you guys are paid well. MVP Network says, keep working hard. You'll be able to get her that raise and then some. It's coming. I believe that. We actually were averaging like 100 viewers this live. We're down a little bit because Josh is off. But yeah, we've been actually averaging 70 to 100 viewers every live, which is the most we've ever had. I think when we first started, we were getting like 200 to 300. And then since they changed the algorithm, it dropped dramatically. But we're getting back there. So what coin is this? This is Algorand. So Algorand is looking like it's going to pump here. I think it's a solid buy. I really do. This one I like the most. We got a nice double bottom. XRP, it looks like it could be an inverted head and shoulders on the 1 hour. But it's a bit wonky. So I'm leaning more towards this pattern right here, which is an ascending broadening wedge, which is bearish, which should send it back down. Big Baller says, let's get XRP to $5. It will pay for Jesse myself. Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to see XRP go to $5. And it could. It could, okay? Algorand to 50 cents this cycle? I think so. I think minimum. I think minimum Algorand's going to see 50 cents. It could potentially see dollars. If we get the alt season that we're all waiting for, yeah, we're going to see, you know, if it gets all-time high, we could see $3 to $5 on Algorand. You know, but I just don't think that that's going to happen. What's a good buy-in for Algo? Well, I mean, I already gave that out. Last week, I've been saying that it was about 15 cents, 15.50, and that's exactly where it hit, and then it turned back up. So it could potentially go back down to 14.5, but I think about 15 cents. Thoughts on H-bar? H-bar is doing the exact same thing, just a different price. So H-bar would be yeah, so H-bar hit its bottom here at 12.5 was the price that we hit. And I think I said like between 13.5 and 12.5, and it hit at 12.64. So it didn't quite go to 12.5, but it ran up. But I think this one's about to take off as well. I'd say right now these are solid buys. Okay, you're not going to catch the bottom. Now there is a potential that everything pulls back and this drops down to 11 to 9 cents, which is definitely possible. But I think it's got pretty good support right there at 13. 13.5. This is H bar. But look at, I've been saying this for weeks, man, that this was like a head and shoulders and that it was coming down, and it hit all of these alts that I've been charting, hit to the T. The only one that didn't was XRP. XRP is the hardest one to chart. It has a mind of its own, and it may not go as low as we want it to. But I'll tell you this, if this thing forms a diamond top, it's coming back down to 208, 209. Does 1 cent really matter? It depends on the project. Yes, it does matter. If you're working with fractions of a cent, 1 cent is a big deal. If you're in dollars, no, 1 cent isn't a big deal. Render is a great buy right now. Yeah, everything kind of looks good. Okay, I know I had the Hulk up earlier. You know, we had Hulk right here, and I had the red light on. No, I think things could potentially pump a little bit more. But all it's going to take is one bad news. Okay? H-bar or Chainlink, what do you mean? Which one would I pick? Probably Link. H-bar is probably higher up on the list, though. I'd probably pick H-bar. I would pick something in the top 10 cryptos for alts. Top 10. Top 10 ISOs. BTC to 90K or lower in the next 3 months. Yeah, I mean, what if that kicks off an alt season? But maybe Bitcoin goes up to 150K and just comes back down to 100K. I don't think so. What are they? What do you mean, what are they? What are the top 10? Where did I find that at? There it is. So you can go into Trading View and you can see a top list. So number 1 is Bitcoin, number 2 is Ethereum. I don't count the stable coins. So number 3 would be XRP, Solana, Tron. Dogecoin's a meme coin, so I don't count that. Cardano, Chainlink, Stellar Lumens, Avalanche, Litecoin, Hedera. Those ones. That's pretty much my picks. The ones I just named off. Those are my picks for this alt season. Those will do the best. Everything below that, the liquidity is just so spread out, it's gonna fizzle. They won't see as much returns. I'm hoping that Algorand moves up the list. But Algorand is number 54. I think Algorand is what you want to buy for the next cycle. I think the next cycle, Algorand is going to be the big one. This cycle, it's XRP. Next cycle, I'm guessing Algorand, Ondo, real world assets. There may be something newer that comes along that's better. We'll see. Thank you for all the gifts, guys. You guys are incredible. We made a whole $3.60. I appreciate it. The best way to help the show, obviously, when you guys send the gifts here, it brings in more viewership. But financially, the best way is to just send a donation. And if you need the donation information, send me a DM and I'll give it to you because I can't put it in the chat. All right, let's go over the news. XRP could still be a head and shoulders. It could diamond top or ascending, broadening wedge. hit resistance here and come back down. There's a possibility maybe in the next couple hours it hits 223, 224, and then it's done. Or it just goes from there. It's really hard to say right now. Everything is just kind of messed up with XRP. So Trump administration moves to count crypto as a federal mortgage asset. The Federal Housing Finance Agency is working to let borrowers use crypto as part of their federal mortgage applications without converting it into cash. The only digital asset held on U.S. Regulated centralized exchanges will qualify under the new guidance. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac basically must de-sign safeguards to accounts for crypto volatility and submit their plans to the FHFA. We'll give this a little watch here, see.
Housing front. We'll go to Washington. Diana Olick has that for us. Hey, Di.
Hey, Scott. Yeah, this is from the FHFA director, Bill Pulte. He is the conservator of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. He just posted on X, after significant studying and in keeping with President Trump's vision to make the United States the crypto capital of the world, today I ordered the great Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to prepare their businesses to count cryptocurrency as an asset for a mortgage. Interesting, in the note, he then has a release from the FHFA, whereas cryptocurrency is an emerging asset class that may offer an opportunity to build wealth outside of the stock market and bond markets. Cryptocurrency has not typically been considered in the mortgage risk assessment process for the mortgage from mortgage loans delivered to the enterprises.
Keep smashing that like button. Let's get to 50K, guys.
So he is now, this is not happening immediately, but he is directing Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to prepare proposals for consideration of crypto as an asset for reserves in their respective
so it's not official
mortgage loan risk assessments.
Not official.
So that means that your crypto can back your mortgages. Now, this is an interesting play because
there
is
maybe.
actually a startup company
But
called
probably
Milo,
will happen.
which already does this, and it's been slowly moving into the mortgage market in that way. Some people buy and sell in crypto on their own. But for Fannie and Freddie to use crypto as a backstop for their mortgages, that's going to be interesting going forward, as we know how volatile crypto can be.
So yeah, it's not 100%. They're putting proposals together, okay? It's not set in stone. Everybody thinks that it's happening right now. Yes, it's kind of happening. It's a bit bullish. It's good news. So we'll be able to use our crypto assets as collateral. It has to be US based. So your XRP will work. All right. Let's listen to this one.
U.S. Senator sets 2026 goal for 2 crypto bills. Wyoming Senator Cynthia Lummis.
So this is what we were talking about with Josh, is these bills. He thinks it's all going to happen this year. The U.S. Senator has set the goal for 2026. So hear it out.
Said she expects Congress to pass 2 pieces of crypto legislation related to stablecoins and market structure before the end of this calendar year. Speaking at the Bitcoin Policy Summit in Washington, D.C., on Wednesday, Lummis discussed the progress of the Digital Asset Market Clarity, or CLA Act, in the House of Representatives and the Guiding and Establishing National Innovation for U.S. Stablecoins, or GENIUS Act, in the Senate. Lummis said she would be extremely disappointed if the 2 bills did not pass through Congress by 2026. Lummis chairs the Senate Banking Committee's Digital Asset Subcommittee, which held a hearing on Tuesday discussing crypto market structure legislation. The Wyoming senator acknowledged the challenges of getting bipartisan support for any crypto-related bills over concern that certain people that have family members in the administration are going to be advantaged in some way by what we're doing. I don't want to come up with a piece of legislation that the other side of the aisle feels they haven't had adequate input in, Lummis said at the Tuesday hearing. Senator Cynthia Lummis, Center, speaking at the Bitcoin Policy Institute conference on Wednesday. Source, Bitcoin Magazine. While some Democrats have sided with Republicans like Loomis to vote for crypto bills, including the Genius Act, 18 Democrats made up the 68 yay votes for the legislation on June 17. Others have suggested they will not support any legislation without first addressing U.S. President Donald Trump's involvement in the crypto space and the possible implications for personal gain. The president has issued his own line of meme coins, has a stake in his family-backed crypto business World Liberty Financial, and has received political donations from digital asset companies' executives. Related, as stablecoin bill heads to House, Senate shifts to market structure. Battle to pass crypto bills in the House. Loomis' stated goal to have both bills ready by 2026 suggested a later timeline than what Bo Hines, the executive director of the President's Council of Advisors on Digital Assets, said in May. Hines speculated that the Genius Act could be ready before Congress recess in August. Trump said on June 18 that he would be willing to sign the bill with no add-ons from the House if it were to pass quickly. With Republicans having a slim majority in the House, both the market structure and stablecoin bills would likely need at least some Democratic support to pass. Magazine. Trump's crypto ventures raise conflict of interest, insider trading questions.
All right. So this bill, man, will it get passed? I don't know. Because Trump says he'll sign it if they don't make any changes. But Congress, or not Congress, the House is saying that they want to make it so that the Fed has the authority for regulation on this. So if they change that, it may not get passed. Trump would probably veto it. So 2026, maybe. Lending crypto senator sees end of the year as U.S. legislation target, right? So this is basically a recap on what we just heard. So end of the year, maybe. And that's just for the House to pass it. So we may see this get passed at the end of the year. Maybe we don't. But then Trump has to sign off on it. I think he'll sign it quickly. Fed drops reputational risk rule, paving the way for banks to enter crypto. Here's the highlights. The Federal Reserve removal of reputational risk from former bank exams could potentially clear the way for banks to engage more openly with cryptocurrency and other previously controversial industries. So this is a maybe. It's not set in stone yet. Oh wait, no, it is. So it is dropped. Okay, sorry, I got thrown off there. It is dropped. So that regulation is no longer standing. Banks can offer crypto to other people. This is going to open the door for more retail. Okay, this is good. This is bullish. This is why we're seeing upward movement. Guinea Marie, if you're having issues, you know where to go. I'll say it one more time here. So there were Federal Reserve regulations for banks, so they couldn't offer crypto. Now that has been dropped. Okay, so banks can now offer crypto to their customers. That's basically what this states. Retailers are rushing returns back to resale market as Trump tariff costs hit item economics. So companies are relying more on what is known as reverse logistics to get returned products back into the marketplace faster due to tariff costs already paid. Reserve Logistic Industries is experiencing significant growth according to Alex Partners, with the U.S. market valued at $150 billion in 2024, and the project is projected to grow between 6 to 8% through 2030. So this is cool. So products that redistribute used or returns those companies are probably going to see growth. So this is maybe something to invest into, companies that do this. Let's see. Returns can be a key salvation for companies to keep costs down. Tariffs are making new goods more expensive, said Casey Crost, Chief Operations Officer, returns management software company Optoro. So there's the company right there, Optoro. So this company is going to probably see some good moves over the next several years. If you're looking for stocks, here you go. Trump threatens to double tariffs on Spain over defense spending. The economy is doing very well, Trump said about Spain, and that economy could be blown right out of the water. So tariffs are coming back, baby. Retaliatory tariffs are coming back. This is why I'm not convinced that we're super bullish yet. I'm just not convinced yet. Let's see. President Donald Trump embraced U.S. NATO allies at Summit Wednesday with one notable exception. The president lashed out at Spain for its decision to only raise its defense spending to 2.1% of the country's gross domestic product, well short of the 5% that Trump said NATO have been pushing for. We can't read more of this because you got to pay for it, but Spain's not paying their fair share, and so he's basically saying that they're going to get retaliatories. Yeah, if you're having an issue with lagging, we're also on the other platform. I cannot tell you what other platform we're on anymore, but TikTok seller, if you can help me out there, I'd appreciate it. So if you're having lagging issues, we are simul streaming. And if you miss anything, you can always watch the recordings after the show on YouTube. Tariff clock is ticking with just 2 weeks left. When the Trump administration paused sweeping tariffs in early April, it promised 90 trade deals in 90 days that would fundamentally reshape the global economic order. With 2 weeks to go, there's one deal, one shaky detente, and maximum uncertainty about the rest. The Liberation Day tariff pause ends July 8th. President Trump threatens that 50% tariffs on European goods would come a day later, assuming no deal, as well as a